What does it cost to be a collector? A movie fan, the person that wants the latest thing, or the best of the best? As we're approaching winter and the Christmas period, of course the movie distributors, they want your cash. And as collectors, some of us are just that crazy enough that we hand over that cash just to have the new thing.
Shut up and take my money!
But is it all just becoming a little bit insane? Browsing online for the latest announcements, we're seeing some big box sets for our favourite franchises. And a lot of them, they're franchises that we've been collecting and upgrading for years. And now in 2025, we're seeing some real premium collections. And these things, they're going to affect our spending and sometimes our household budgets. Looking here, we've got the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K Steelbook collection, which is going to set you back £200. Then if we carry on through, we've got the Back to the Future Steelbook Anniversary Editions at £50 each. Then there's a new Halloween Steelbook Pumpkin Collector's Edition thing that's never going to fit on your shelf, that's retailing at over £200. And that's only for the first 5 movies. Not forgetting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy from Arrow Films.
Cowabunga!
So that's going to set you back £50. That's 600 quid right there. And all released within weeks of each other. And these aren't the only new editions coming out. Each and every month we have 10 or more boutique labels releasing all new special editions of some older movies. Then of course there's the new releases of the new blockbuster movies. It's not stopping, there's more and more every month. And it's getting more expensive each and every month. Do you budget for your monthly spends? How far do you push yourself to get the latest releases? And is some of this just becoming a little too much to keep up with? Are the studios and distributors pushing harder at us to increase our spending? The studios, they know now that collectors, they're going to collect. For many collectors, the priority is to get all the big hitter titles. And they do, often without a second thought. Even if we have an older edition, it's often just not enough. It's an addiction, a habit. That means if there's a new release, then it's got to be ordered, right? For me, this is getting a little bit silly. We're at a point now that we're often talking hundreds of pounds or dollars each month if we want to keep up. And then if we are keeping up, then how have we got the time to sit and appreciate the thing before the next comes out? And I've realised recently that a lot of these releases, they just don't really matter that much. A lot of the added stuff, really, it holds no real value. All it is, it's just the cheaply made things that can increase the retail return exponentially. And very often, they're not always movies that we care about enough. Or a lot of the time, they can actually be movies that we already own. Is there always that real need to have the latest edition? I don't know. Oh, before I move on, just do me a favour. Look back through your orders, grab a calculator, just add up how much you've spent on new versions of movies that you already own. I've done this, and it starts to look a little bit mental. But can we blame the distributors? They've found a hook. They now know where they can make the money from us. The collectors, the movie fans, the ones that blindly dive in. If we're not buying, then they would have to find another way to release and sell these things. Maybe they'd lower the price and drop some of the guff. But the time that we're in at the moment, they're still selling out. They have an army of YouTubers out there doing the videos on these new releases and showing exactly what you're missing out on. And it presses your FOMO buttons, the fear of missing out. I've been in that trap of always wanting the latest, the biggest, or the shiniest version. But the thing is, looking at my shelves, this stuff that I needed right away, some of it, it's sat here for months, and sometimes years, still sealed up and unused. It's the habit that I'm trying to break. just to take a step back and consider, how many times do I need to rebuy a new version of a particular movie? One that I potentially already own. It's no longer about the discovery of other movies. I'm spending my time and investing in those things that I've already seen or that I already own. For me, collecting the latest or the biggest release is getting that little bit silly. For example, those Back to the Future limited 40th anniversary editions. Sure, I love the movies, but £150 for the trilogy. £150 for 3 movies that I've already had on multiple formats that are still sat here somewhere in my collection. Do I now want that £150 to go towards getting yet another version of these movies? Or could that money be used towards something else? Something that I don't have. Something that I might appreciate adding in the collection that little bit more. This last year or two, the prices have been creeping up. We've had the limited steel book versions, incrementally rising with each new release. Now, we're at a point that it's at £45 to £50 each for one new movie. The prices, they just get eye-wateringly high. I mean, maybe you can afford these new limited edition things, or maybe you're having to rely on credit to be able to get them. But do we always really need them? Are they always going to be used beyond the thing that you already have? In my mind at the moment, is that new Nightmare on Elm Street 4K edition going to get used any more than my old Blu Ray edition? Probably not. Sure, it's nice to have that improvement in picture and sound quality, but with the amount of time I go back to these, for me it really isn't worth the extra outlay to replace what I already have. I'm not sure if I get any more enjoyment out of the films that are on the latest format or in the latest package over this that I already have. And some of the new sets, they're coming out in collections. If you want the latest edition for just one movie, for a while, the only way you're going to get it is part of a set. The Turtles release from Arrow, for example. This isn't the Arrow version, this was a previous Blu Ray version. But Arrow are releasing the trilogy box set. I mean, come on collectors, how many of us really want a 4K edition of Turtles in Time? You have to have it though. It's part of the set, and there's no individual releasing yet. Well, at least until that limited edition sells out. Somehow, you're spending more again, and on some things that really, you didn't want. The only way to stop these crazy price hikes is simply to stop buying them. Maybe just wait it out a little bit for the sale prices. Show them that their pricing structure is just too much. Personally, I would love that sort of thing to happen. It's just not going to. Collectors, we love to have that thing over the next person, and they're just always selling out because of it. When does it become too much though? Where do we stop and draw the line? Being a collector, it comes at a cost. If you want the latest, then that cost is going to hit you. Are you willing to soak up the extra outlay and the extra cost just to have that thing sat on your shelf? Of course, it's completely your choice how and what you collect. I just want you to think if it's something that you actually want, or is it just part of a habit or an addiction?